Okay, so I've been getting a lot of message requests recently asking me how much money I made pressure washing in 2022. And to be honest with you, I just started pressure washing this year, but just for starting pressure washing this year, I still made a decent amount of money. All right, so before I tell you guys exactly how much money I made in 1 month of pressure washing, I'm gonna be explaining, exactly how I got into pressure washing, and I promise it'll be fast. It won't be that long. So, how I first got started to pressure washing. So my grandpa actually had a pressure washer that he let me borrow and use on his own driveway. He asked if I wanted to do it. He showed me how to do everything. He was like, "Okay, do you want to take it, to your house with you?" I was like, "Sure." So he let me have his pressure washer. It just sat in my garage for a couple of years, and probably this year, my parents were like, "Are you gonna do anything with this pressure washer?" And I started thinking about it. I'm like, well, I've seen a lot of pressure washing TikToks, Instagram reels, so I thought I could, try to start a business pressure washing, and I got into it. I learned as much as I could, and I still am right now. I'm about pressure washing, and I started my business up, and I started getting a lot of sales. I was kind of surprised on how many clients I was receiving and how many clients I was getting, but I'll be explaining that further in this video. So that's just really how I started. You could start anyway. Pressure washers are a little bit of expensive, but you make the money back in 1 to 2 jobs. So honestly, you can make the money back very easily. It's just a little bit of a risk. Okay, so the equipment that I'm starting with, that I did start with, is a 2.7 GPM Troy-Bilt pressure washer. Now, this is the one my grandpa had, and it's a great pressure washer, just for like residential houses. If you a lot of people just have them at their house because it's a low GPM pressure washer that works very well, and I use it for my clients. But I am upgrading to a better pressure washer pretty soon. But I'm just saying you could start with something as little as that. And for chemicals, a lot of people are probably going to be asking you, what type of chemicals do I use? They probably hear sodium hypochlorite a lot, which is basically a bleach that you could use on a lot of things. And you have to know when to use bleach and when not to use bleach. You can't just go around spraying stuff high pressure. When you do use bleach, I do recommend you soft wash, depending on what it is. So for example, I had to do this lady's roof, and basically she had a bunch of mold and stuff on top of her roof that she needed gone because she couldn't get it herself, so she hired me to do it. And when I was doing this mold and this moss and everything, I was like, dang, what should I use? Sodium hypochlorite, another type of bleach, something I found at the store, and I ended up using sodium hypochlorite because it is really good just for killing all this moss. And basically what you want to tell your client is that when you spray all the sodium hypochlorite and bleach, it's gonna kill all the moss, right? But you don't want to like go and try to get it off because it'll rip the shingles off the roof. So you just want to let it sit there for a bit, and after it sits there for a bit, when it rains, all of it will start coming off. But it does really help a lot for that, but you do not want to use it on stuff like painted walls or anything like that. Siding is a little bit different, but you just do not want to use it on stuff like that. Concrete with oil stains, a lot of people say, oh, I should use it with oil stains, but no, use a degreaser. I'm actually having a job next week that I have to use some degreaser, and I think I'm going to film it for you guys. But anyway, that's just some equipment that I would start out with. I definitely get some chemicals. I definitely get a small pressure washer that's not too expensive because, a lot of people start with a lot of money. They start official. They start with their LLC. But honestly, I wouldn't do that until you've made enough money to actually buy all those things. And I'm not saying, go tax evade. You need to report your taxes, obviously. But I'm saying you need enough money to do all that. And it's great if your parents help you out, if someone else helps you out, if you're doing it, with a buddy of yours or something like that. But please just learn as much as possible because there are a lot of things that could harm the environment when you're pressure washing, especially with chemicals. But anyway, as I'm done with that, I told you guys my equipment that I use. I'm going to be telling you exactly how I really got clients and how I got people to reach out to me and, exactly how much money I charged and how much money I made. All right, so how I found my clients was my mom actually helped me a lot. She started posting on Facebook a lot, and I really do recommend you start posting on Facebook because it'll help a bunch. You join some groups, start posting and everything, and you might get some people contacting you. And I got someone contacting me, the first couple of months I started, and they contacted me and they're like, hey, can you do my deck in my backyard? So I said, sure. I set up a quote with her. I went to go check it out, and always do quotes in person. Please just don't go on Google Maps and do that. I would just do quotes in person. So I went to their house and looked at their deck, and their deck was really dirty. And I knew I could do something and definitely make it look a lot better. So I told her I could make it look a lot better. We scheduled a date, and when I came on the date to her house, lady's house, I actually, it was my first job, and I've done practice on my driveway, my grandpa's driveway, and since it was a deck, it was a little bit different, but it did take a lot of more time than I was expecting. It turned out very well, honestly. She did give me a tip, but the amount of money I charged was probably something you're not expecting. I charged $75 for this pretty decent sized deck, and you might be asking, no, why are you charging that little? You could charge so much more. And honestly, it's because I didn't have much experience at the time. I didn't really know exactly what I was doing. I didn't have, that much just knowledge about pressure washing. And obviously, the more you do pressure washing, the more you know about it. So I just wanted to start a little bit cheaper. And my dad comes with me to every job, so he wanted to make sure that I charged, what it's worth. I'm not saying you have to do this forever. Like, I'm finally increasing my prices because I'm learning more. And, for example, concrete and sidewalks, I up my price a lot more than what I used to, because when I used to do it, I used to not know exactly how to do everything. I was still learning, and now that I'm a little bit better at it, I keep increasing my price, but not too much. I think that's why a lot of people like hiring me, because I'm just one person. I'm not a whole team of people. And even though I do have a team, which is my parents, they don't want me to pay them, so I'm really appreciative of that. But anyway, yeah, it is really beneficial to them that it's a little bit cheaper, and beneficial to me that I don't have to pay a team. And in the future, I could pay a team and create, hire employees and everything like that, but that's just not something I'm looking to do right now. And something that I did face that was a little bit hard is I actually have a Toyota Camry, which I had to put my pressure washer in. And my dad and I had to get these straps to strap it down on the trunk. And we're driving around with this pressure washer in our trunk the whole time. So, yeah, that's something I definitely recommend, having a truck or a little bit of a bigger car with a trailer for pressure washing. And to figure out how much you're going to charge your client, I would definitely start, as I said, start a little bit lower when you're first doing clients, because you don't want to lose your first client just because of the price you put like insanely high. As I said, I did $75 for probably, a $150 to $200 job I would do now. Maybe a little bit less than that, but still, maybe a $150 to $200 job I would do now. But yeah, maybe a little bit less than that, but still. When you're just first starting out, I would definitely recommend, charging a little bit cheaper. But as I said, I do, charge a lot more now that I have some experience. And, sorry, I'm actually doing this video a few days later right now. But anyway, and now I do charge a lot more, and I charge a lot more because I have a lot more experience. And if you're just starting out, I definitely recommend charging a little bit cheaper. And people basically just do this because if they see your business and they see you're charging, some cheap prices, they'll probably want to hire you. And some people won't, and some people will. But you'll have a lot of recurring customers. And I'm gonna give you guys some tips and tricks of what you want to do. And even when you're getting every customer, you're gonna want to put them down on a spreadsheet, even if you have like 2 customers, because they could be reoccurring and you might need their information some other time, and you just might not have their contact information. So you might need their contact information. And a lot of people ask me about insurance, and I would definitely recommend getting insurance if you're doing commercial jobs, residential jobs. If you're just doing it for kind of a side hustle, you do need it, but it's not as big when you're doing it for residential. But I definitely recommend getting some insurance. And if you're trying to scale and expand your pressure washing business, then I would definitely recommend looking into a lot of more things, just getting your business set up right. So as I was saying, when you're getting your equipment, I would just get the right type of equipment, because you want to get the good stuff and not build it. You could be good at building stuff, right? But a lot of this stuff online is pretty expensive, but it is worth it, because if you pay $400 for a service cleaner, then you're gonna make that back in 2 jobs. For me, it would be 2 jobs, but some people it could be 4 jobs. So I'd definitely recommend trying to budget yourself and not spend a lot of the money that you get pressure washing, and just try to reinvest it in the beginning, because it'll definitely help you. If you're getting better equipment, you can do stuff faster. If you're getting stuff for your rig, you could do things faster. So I would definitely recommend putting most of your money that you make from pressure washing back into your business until you have some really good equipment. And that's really what I'm doing, and I'm going to be updating you guys on what I do for my business and all that stuff. But I just want to say thank you guys for watching, and if you guys like these pressure washing videos, please make sure to let me know. And yeah, so if you guys have some suggestions, please make sure to let me know. So yeah, thank you for watching.